In the distance, a chilling war chant is heard. Their chief's kingdom roars. The chiefs are approaching to pillage and destroy all in their path. They have been here before, and the morning air feeds their frenzy as their tomahawk chops give birth to unbridled fear in their enemies. They wail, "If you are not with me, then surely you are against me," as they explode onto the hallowed ground of their battlefield. Welcome to the Kings County Chiefs Kingdom. Tomahawk Talk, Kings County Chiefs Weekly, with your host, Star Russo.
The Chiefs' tenure was stifled by the tough Elmont Cardinals, but pulled it out in the final moments as the defense made a stand, holding on for the 8-6 victory over Elmont. The Chiefs' offense couldn't seem to get it going against the Elmont Cardinals' defense. Chiefs quarterback JJ was 8 of 14 for just 57 yards with no passing touchdowns. It's okay, JJ, you killed it on defense, but we'll get to that in a moment.
We'll be right back with more Tomahawk Talk, Kings County Chiefs Weekly.
Hey, it's Mike Golick from ESPN. Hey, good luck to the Kings County Chiefs. Congrats on everything you've done. And remember, hit them with the sauce.
Do the tomahawk chop, go, go. Do the tomahawk chop, Chiefs.
On the ground, the Chiefs had a little more success as Keyshawn rushed for 53 yards on 7 carries. Keyshawn reached the end zone one time this game with this 31-yard touchdown run. This would prove to be the difference in the game. Keyshawn ended the day with 91 total yards, rushing and receiving, and 1 touchdown. JJ rushed for 20 yards on 2 carries from quarterback position. Flash was held to just 3 yards on 5 carries against Elmont's defense.
We'll be right back with more Tomahawk Talk, Kings County Chiefs Weekly. Now for a message from our friends.
Far from the games, the lights, the fever, there is a company on a mission, driven by a relentless dedication to the player. At Schutt Sports, we build gear for performance. We build gear for protection. We build gear for players. It takes decades of constant technological advancement in every helmet, in every pad, in every product. It takes people in the lab committed to pushing the limits of engineering. It takes an entire company committed to the science of domination. Like our TPU cushioning, the most advanced impact absorption system in the game. The Schutt G-Force Athlete Monitoring System. D3O Impact Protection Technology. Maybe this is why we have more 5-star rated helmets than anyone in the industry. Why over 50% of NFL skill players choose Schutt. On the field, domination doesn't happen overnight either. Domination takes hard work. Domination takes desire. Domination takes guts. At Schutt, we believe domination isn't just about how you perform. It's about intimidation, the ability to induce fear. That's why we specialize in equipment with an extra helping of badass baked into every one. Every Schutt product is built for maximum protection, performance, and intimidation. Schutt Sports, the science of domination.
Tomahawk chop, go, go. Do the tomahawk chop, Chiefs.
In the air, the Chiefs took what they could get. This 34-yard screen pass to Keyshawn was the longest pass play of the game and put the Chiefs in the red zone. Keyshawn led all receivers with 5 catches for 38 yards. Chiefs tight end Johnny added 3 catches for 19 yards. We'll be right back with the Chiefs' 10U defensive highlights and stats.
We'll be right back with more Tomahawk Talk. Kings County Chiefs Weekly.
Hey, this is Carl Peterson, formerly of the Kansas City Chiefs, currently of USA Football, saying to the Tomahawk Talk, Kings County Chiefs, go, win again, get it done.
Do the Tomahawk chop, go. Do the Tomahawk chop, Chiefs.
The Chiefs' 10U defense was fired up, proving that defense wins games, and that is exactly what they did. Chiefs defensive end JJ was relentless as he recorded an unbelievable 10 tackles and 1 sack. This is a new Chiefs single game record for tackles. JJ made Elmont pay when running to his side of the ball. Great game, JJ. Defensive end Zion also added 5.5 tackles and combined with Davion for a sack. Zion made some key defensive plays in the Chiefs' victory. Davion also chased down 5.5 tackles and a sack in the Chiefs' victory from his defensive back position. Davion has become one of the Chiefs' best defensive backs, coming on the corner blitz.
It all came down to this, Jaden. Fourth quarter, 3rd and goal from the Chiefs' 3-yard line, 4 seconds left in the game, and here's what happened. Chiefs defense holds, and in a nail-biter, the Chiefs defeat the Elmont Cardinals by a score of 8-6. The 10U Chiefs remain undefeated in the AAU Football NY Metro, New Jersey District Football League and are still tied for first place.
We'll be right back with more Tomahawk Talk, Kings County Chiefs Weekly. Now for a message from our friends.
We've got over 350 years of combined manufacturing experience that manufactures our top-of-the-line shoulder pads that hit the Division I and NFL market yearly. We're American made. Our custom shoulder pad line is made here in Houston, Texas, USA. We've got Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, J.J. Watt, Sean Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, Russell Wilson, Baker Mayfield, and a number of other NFL players that have chosen to wear Douglas. We've got over 19 Heisman Trophy winners in the last 33 years, which makes us one of the top shoulder pads at that level. We've got a number of Super Bowl MVPs, a number of Division I colleges, a number of FCS colleges, a number of smaller colleges. We're one of the lightest weight pads on the market. The comfort level is there. They love how low profile our shoulder pads are, not restrictive. But the biggest thing these days is weight and mobility, and they feel like they've got the lightest pad available to them, but with the most protection. Douglas stands by an air management system. When you take a hit on the shoulder, the last thing you want to do is feel it in your shoulder. You want it to spread throughout the whole shoulder pad. So that's what's key to our air management system is it's dispersed from the front of the shoulder pad all the way to the back. It's not in one specific location. If you don't have that key component to a shoulder pad, then the body is what is absorbing all that energy. And eventually your body will break down, which will lead to injuries. As you can see through the process of building these pads, our manufacturing employees always work in unity from one department to the next. Everything that comes down our manufacturing line touches multiple hands until it's finished. You've got the ironing process and the heat seal process where you're seeing at least 6 to 10 hands touching a single product before it hits the sewing line. Once it hits the sewing line, you're seeing another 6 to 7 sets of hands that are touching it, and that's just the cushion aspect of it. You shift over to the plastic assembling line, and there's another 5 to 10 hands that are going to touch it, and then it meets the quality control area. We have 2 sisters that have been with us for over 20 years. They look over every pad that comes down the line. If there's just a little bit wrong with it, they'll send it back, but typically we don't have those issues. We've got a number of employees that have been here for over 20 years. We've got a few employees that have actually been here for over 30 years. That definitely sets us apart. Their knowledge of our product, how it's made, their hands-on approach. They're part of the family. They feel like they're part of the family. They want to make sure they make the best product available. And there's a lot of pride that goes into making the pad. The Douglas family pretty much began in 1987, where they began conversions, where they'd actually build new cushions for existing shoulder pads. And eventually they moved on to producing their own football shoulder pad. So it evolved from going from doing conversions for a few years to building their own pads from scratch, from a 600 square foot leased building to now they own 35,000 square foot warehouse that is 100% owned by Douglas. We still have ownership that sits in the building daily that oversees the process, and I think the attention to detail that goes into every pad made here is definitely what sets us apart. And it's really paid off here in the last 5 to 6 years. You're seeing more and more Douglas pads on the NFL field. We dominate the college level as far as shoulder pad protection, and we're the #1 pad used in the NFL as of 2018. We have a number of players that love our pads that won't change out of our pads. They've worn our pads for many years. Our attention to detail and our design of our shoulder pads is what keeps players in them.
Do the tomahawk chop, go.
And now for our game recap.
Chiefs.
Just little Keyshawn at the corners for the Chiefs. Elijah takes the ball and goes to number 3, running right. He's got some room. Trying to come left corner.
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
And the shotgun, number 12, gets the ball. He's bringing up Fios. Right in the hand.
We have Hogan, number 5'5" on the offense.
JJ takes the ball, drops back, looking. He's got a man down the field. Ryan, number 16. Ball snap, JJ drops back, looking. Throws, deep downfield. He's got it. Ball is incomplete. Pass is incomplete. JJ drops back. Hurry along for the Chiefs. JJ with the ball, drops back, looking. He's got Keyshawn, number 25, coming up the right side. Now back to the line of the screen. Ball is back, number 12, on the right. He's turning the ball. Back to the field. Brought down by number 11. 27-yard line. Ball snap, number 12. Hands off to number 1. He's up over about 4. Number 1 Eden on that carry. And on the play.
Have encroachment on the defense coming out. Encroachment on the defense coming out. Go.
And it snaps the ball to Elijah. Hand it off to number 85, going up the middle. To the long yardage. Ball set.
Yo, Ram, yo!
The ball to put on the on the right side, breaks the 50.
Yo, Ray! Look!
And he takes the ball. Pitch back to Keisha. Now corner. Recovered by the Cardinals. Second and about 4 for the Cardinals. On the 40-yard line. Elijah the quarterback takes the snap. Hand off to number 7. Up the middle. And he's one down. And on the play. Number 73 in the ball carrier. 4th down for the Chiefs. KJ takes the ball. Pulling past the hands of the intended receiver. Number 36.
We'll be right back with more Tomahawk Talk. Kings County Chiefs Weekly.
I've always had a concept that the people of Brooklyn deserved a better place to get their orthopedic care. I was born in Brooklyn. I was born at Maimonides Medical Center. I absolutely love Brooklyn. There's no place like Brooklyn in the world. People of Brooklyn are a unique group, and I think the group we have here fits that perfectly well.
So I'm actually a native New Yorker. I was born and raised in Queens. What I loved about orthopedics specifically is that you could make a tangible difference in someone's life, and you actually see your result fairly quickly.
I want to make patients better, truthfully. I really want to see patients that weren't walking or having trouble walking, walk again. I want to see patients that play sports and can't play sports because they injured themselves, go back to their sport. So that's one of the most rewarding things that I have.
When we treat patients, we're not just treating an x-ray, we're not just treating what we see or an extremity. We're trying to treat the whole patient.
I think that's very important. Bedside manner is how you connect to the patients.
There's not one patient that can come in here and not feel like they're at home and feel like they can get the care they need. We're very sensitive to cultural demands of our communities, and I think that's what separates us from a lot of other practices.
This is the only facility where we provide both orthopedic care as well as spinal care in Brooklyn.
Pediatrics, trauma, reconstructive surgery, oncology.
And what we're trying to create here is kind of a one-stop shop for orthopedics.
It's a very pleasant, modern, clean, happy, bright place.
A full team covering pretty much every aspect of orthopedics and sports medicine.
I feel the facility is excellent. We offer a very good quality of orthopedic care.
We strive to be the best in New York at what we do. We like to focus on patient care and want to make sure they understand what's going on, and more importantly, that they're part of the process.
The Bone and Joint Center is an all-inclusive, comprehensive center for all of your orthopedic care.
And now for our game recap.
KJ with the ball. Pitches to Keyshawn. Ball on the left-hand side, trying to turn the corner. On down around midfield. The quarterback under center. Takes the ball, drops back, looking. Runs up the middle. He's got some room. Past the first down marker. Past midfield. Big yardage on the play, JJ. Second down for the Chiefs. sack. Takes the hand, gives to Flash. Going up the middle. On down at the 40-yard line. He takes the sack. Elmont. Keyshawn breaks the tackle. Gain of about 3.
Keeps the yard.
Ball snap. Keyshawn coming around the left side. He's got the first down and more. Deep down in the part of the territory. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Chiefs! Keyshawn into the touchdown. Change it. Cross pass. He takes the snap. Takes the flash. Flash running off the field. Ball down around the 45-yard line. Ball snap. Change it. Throws. Front. By number 36. Upfield. JJ drops back. He's looking. He's got him in. Number 36, coming up to the right side. Johnny with that reception. Ball snap. JJ drops back, looking. He's got Keyshawn on the right side. Coming up field. Brought down around the 30. He's in motion. Ball snap. JJ drops. Keyshawn. In the backfield. Back in the backfield. Up. He's past the first down marker. Downfield, still on his feet. Up the right side. Down deep in Cardinals territory. Going out at about the 15-yard line. Big game for the Chiefs. JJ with the ball. On path looking. He's got Keyshawn on the right side. Keyshawn advancing the ball. Comes up past the 10. Brought down by the Cardinals defense. Ball snap. JJ rolls over the middle. He's got number 36. Still on his feet.
We'll be right back with more Tomahawk Talk. Kings County Chiefs Weekly.
Hey, what's up? I'm Mike Hill from FS1 Sportscast, the host, and he just hit him with the sauce. Keep on watching Tomahawk Talk. That's how we do it, baby.
Now for a message from our friends. And now for our game recap.
Number 3, running up through the middle. Up, go on his feet. Brought down. Brought down by number 11 and number 34. Lost the yardage on the play. And it off to number 1. Right down. Right around the line of scrimmage. third down for the Cardinals. Ball set. Hand it off. Number 3. And he's on the left side. Ball down. And the shotgun. Ball is on the ground. Here come the Chiefs. Number 12 tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Ball snap. Number 12. Looking. Keeps the ball. Brought straight down. No gain. Number 12. The quarterback. Ball down again.
Good job, Rob.
Wiley takes the ball, hand off to number 3, running right. He's got some room. Trying to come left corner.
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
Refs, I need a signal. Number 12 takes the ball, hand off again to number 3, running right. Brought down by the Chiefs defense. No good. Ball downfield. Drops. Picked up by number 7. Comes up the left side, goes to the middle. Brought down by a bunch of Chiefs. Right around the 30-yard line. 6. Ball downfield. Picked up by number 7. Running up the left side. Brought down around the 35-yard line. Number 12 takes the ball. The Cardinals hand it off to number 7. He's up the right side. Ball snap. Hand it off. Reverse. Pulls on the ground. Covered by the Cardinals. Oh, snap. Hand it off. Ball down around the 20-yard line.
Halftime, gentlemen, halftime.
That's the end of the first half. With the score, the Chiefs 8, the Cardinals 6. Ball snap. Hand it off to number 3. Breaking tackles. Breaking still on his feet. Still on his feet. Taken down at the 45-yard line. Ball snap. There's number 7 on the handoff. On the right side. Ball down. Ball down at the 49-yard line. Lies with the shotgun. Takes the ball. Runs right. Turns left. Tackled by many Chiefs. Ball snap. The ball hands off. Ball down in the backfield. Several Chiefs defense. He takes the snap. He has the ball. He needs to come up the right side. Down at around the 30-yard line. Ball snap. Hand it off. Ball carrier is right down around the 32. Now he's with the ball. Keeps it. Coming around the right side. Brought down just off the 35. Ball snap. Headed to number 7. Brought down in the backfield. Number 15 on the tackle. Number 12 Wise takes the ball. Brought down about 4 yards ahead. Ball snapped. Hand it off. Next one tackle. And it's brought down at the 35 by number 1 JJ. Cardinals. Hand it off to number 3. He's trying to turn that corner. Brought down around the 30-yard line. Again in the shotgun. Ball snapped into on the ground, flag fly. Play is blown dead. Lines in the shotgun, gets the ball. Elmont breaks the huddle. Chiefs defense leading in. Wide gets the snap. He holds straight ahead. On to the right. He's got some room. One down before the goal line. Ball snap. Number 12. Let's go, over! Ball snap again. Intentional down. Ball snap. Bringing up the third down. Ball snap to the right Run down. We're here. And the Cardinals 6. Let's congratulate all these young warriors in a really well-played game.
We'll be right back with more Tomahawk Talk, Kings County Chiefs Weekly.
That's all for this week's show. We'd like to give special thanks to our friends at Operation Hood,
Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams,
Dick's Sporting Goods,
Brandon Steiner and Steiner Sports,
Dr. Edelstein and the Maimonides staff, Bone and Joint Clinic,
Doug Douglas at Douglas Pads,
and Shred Sports for all of your support.
We'll also like to give special thanks to the Chiefs official team photographer, Barry Daly, for all his great photos. Everyone, follow him at Barry Takes Pictures on Instagram.
We'll see you next week on Kings County Chiefs Weekly.
And remember,
to the Tomahawk Chop Go. Go Chiefs!
Do the Tomahawk Chop Chiefs. Do the Tomahawk Chop Go. Do the Tomahawk Chop Chiefs. Do the Tomahawk Chop Go. Do the Tomahawk Chop Chiefs. Do the Tomahawk Chop Go. Do the Tomahawk.